of life. Give out your love, stop wasting your time. You know we're gonna make it right. Oh, na na na, yeah. Oh, na na na, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, na na na, yeah. Oh, na na na, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know we're gonna make it. Yeah, we're gonna make it right. Yeah, we're gonna make it. Give out your love, stop wasting your time. Because this world is full of lies. Give out your love, stop wasting your time. You know we're gonna make it right. Give out your love, stop wasting your time. Because this world is full of lies. Give out your love, stop wasting your time. Because this world is full of lies, 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 lies,
So the track you're listening to right now on the album is called No Love Lost. The other track that I'm going to play right before I start speaking is The Killers and Rockers From Here, featuring Maya Marie, who is a wonderful person, wonderful writer, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous person. And I worked with her in the beginning of her career as well, too. She was one of my artists at the time. She was one of the writers on my album. She had been working with me for almost a year and a half. It was a big opportunity for her as an artist, as a writer, to be in our camp. She was also a part of this situation. Many amazing artists, but I'm going to play it right now. It's called From Here, and it's on the album. Hey, thanks.
take a step back, that's me shining. As you undress me with your eyes, our fingers touch, our thoughts collide. Where do we go from here? And now I'm giving you control. It's what you wanted, met your goal. I've played before, this game is over. Where do we go from here?
Woo! It's 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I know this is kind of a weird situation. A lot of you who know me, a lot of you who don't know me, a lot of you who have never known me. My name is Nick Terranova, a.k.a. Starkillers, a.k.a. The Wolf. Welcome to the new world in reality. I just want to first and foremost offer my condolences to Tim and his family. First. Tim was a colleague. I respected Tim. I had to love Tim from afar. I got to watch him blossom. I got to watch him be a beautiful light to a lot of people, a lot of inspiration. This is what I got to see happen with Tim. It's absolutely tragic. And no doubt in my mind when I heard it, was I probably just as blown away as everybody else. Because in this industry, you know, you can have beef, but I would never wish a situation like this to happen to anybody. It's sad. To all the people out there, we're going to address the elephant in the room. The first reason this album got shut down was for the same reason that all of you are coming out after me about this release of Tim's so-called album. I have never led my career in any kind of way to be harmful to anybody, to be a bully towards anybody. I've never led my life in this character in any kind of way. On the other hand, being bullied and shit on and ripped through the mud, and I'm still here. So The elephant in the room is, why did I do this, Tim? I didn't. I didn't put the album out. I didn't release anything. I didn't exploit Tim's likeness. I didn't do any of that for any kind of gain. The album hasn't been released. It's not on streaming platforms. I'm not making any money off of it. My brother, who is in media, has known this story for a long time and has had a personal relationship with Tim himself, and decided to post this. Asked me, I didn't even have this album. My brother had it and decided to post it so that people could hear it and cherish Tim and his likeness and see what beautiful work was done on this album before he died and before he became Avicii. This album's name is Starkillers Presents Killers and Rockers. What happened with this album was that it was completely finished and ready to go, and we were doing artwork, and the label put Killers and Rockers, produced by Starkillers, Austin Leeds, Tom Hanks, aka Avicii, on the artwork. Ash took this and ran with it and used every single tactic he could to shut down my album right before Avicii's Levels was coming out. I was trying to time my album with my single Pressure that all of you know. Pressure would have came out, then my album would have followed up. Had it been what was going on and how it would have gone, that album would have came out and saw the light of day, and everything would have been fine. Tim is a great person. He's talented. This is not about anything that has to do with Tim's character. This has nothing to do with him. I think Tim is beautiful, just like the rest of you. He was an innocent young 19-year-old boy that came to Las Vegas and stayed in my house for a whole month, and we created a beautiful album together. And this was a co-producer agreement. I gave Tim a shot on my sophomore album that I was doing for Ultra Records. I had to do this album because I had signed my Nick Terranova name to Ultra Records, and I didn't like what they did with my first album, what was called What You Need. So I opted to get out of my deal, and the deal was for me to give them one Starkillers album, and I was to give them the Killers and Rockers album, which was a huge collaborative effort between many artists. It wasn't just Tim. Tim just was the outcome. But this was many, many artists. This was Howard Hirsch, who played all the pianos and played all the guitars. Howard Hirsch is my mentor still to this day. This was Maya Marie. This was Jeremy Carr. This was Miss Bunty. This was Bo Uriosti. This was Austin Leeds. This was lots of people who were on this album. A few more to name. I'm sorry if I don't get it. I just want to blow through this a little bit. But I want people to understand, I never released this album. So anyone that sits here and says I released the album, I never did. It never got released on any platform. My brother released it on his music blog, Fresh Music Freaks, for people to enjoy. I just had to counter it, and I felt I didn't even want to say anything. I was so dumbfounded by the situation with Avicii. I didn't even want to say anything about that. I didn't hate Avicii. Avicii was my friend. He was a colleague in passing. We had a great album together. I want everybody to acknowledge this. This is a great thing. This is a beautiful work that we did together as friends. It was bromance. The whole thing was just amazing energy, and you can't deny that from this. You can't deny me. And I didn't release his album to try and gain any likes and clicks. There's people over here telling me that I released his album to get this shit and posting pictures of me saying this and that. The only way for the album to be released would have been for Tim to die because his manager put a clause that I could never use the records. And then I was threatened with lawsuits and this and that. And I was a young guy. Well, what the fuck could I have done at that point? You know, I don't have a manager. The business is not in America. I didn't have any protection. People were taking advantage of me left and right. I just wanted to make music. That's all I ever wanted to do was make music. I've sat here forever, like trying to live my life making music. No, I don't even care. The fame is absolutely stupid to me. It's stupid to me. I'm not trying to gain these clicks off this kid. I want to celebrate this kid. This kid was beautiful. He was an amazing person, amazing light to a lot of people. And I'm really sorry, just like the rest of his fans and anybody else who knew him. But in no way did I release this album. It's not released. I remastered it. And if I do release it, the people who would get the money would be my parents, would be the people that they're like, you know, these people suffered too. You know, my family, we're here. You know, we're all family here, man. People are so connected with everybody. And people don't realize this, you know, like I don't wish anything for this kid except rest in peace. I appreciate everybody looking at this album as a beautiful thing. I really hate that the media has turned around and tried to twist this into some fucking nasty bullshit. Because anybody who knows Nick Terranova, a.k.a. Starkillers, knows I'm a good person. And I did nothing but give Tim a shot. I gave him a fucking shot. That's what you do when you're nice. You give somebody a shot. I hope you all enjoy the album. I'm really, really, really proud of this album. It was my life's work. It was my sophomore album. I had been working on a tempo-based formula literally fucking since 1999. I was just about to do it, and I got stopped. And I'm sure a lot of you in the industry and people who are around and understand this part of it have been blocked by other managers and blocked by shitty people and bullied in the industry and all kinds of stuff. And because you don't know, you don't have the uneducated, you're not educated, and you don't have the ideas, or you don't have the money to protect yourself, then you get fucked just like the next guy. And that's what happens. But they're lessons, man. They're lessons. They're peace, blessings. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand this about life. It's just lesson, peace, blessings. That's all this is. It's at what degree do you accept these lessons? Do you accept these virtues and these blessings from people? I don't know why Tim died, but probably the same reason that everybody else is thinking it in your head right now. Same fucking thing. Everybody's thinking the same thing about Ash. Everybody's thinking the same thing about Ash. Everybody right now is thinking the same fucking thing about this guy. I don't even need to say anything, but we're all thinking the same thing. Anyone who knew, anybody knew what was going on, we're all thinking the same thing. I hope you guys understand this. Avicii, rest in peace, bro. I finally get a big release off my shoulders. I get to release my album finally. And I get to celebrate it with the rest of your fans and my fans too. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you can enjoy the album. I really hope you can enjoy the album. Bless me. God bless.